The iconic circuit of Le Mans in France plays host to our 9th outing of the 2020 season. Unpredictable weather is often the talking point, and with a wet and cold Friday behind us, what thrills and spills await us on Saturday? Later today we decide the grid for the Shark Helmets Grand Prix of France. The legendary Le Mans circuit, 4.1 kilometres in length, this shorter Bugatti circuit, 14 corners, 9 of them right, 5 of them left-handers, resurfaced in 2016. Looking like a dry day ahead, so will we get anywhere near the best ever race laps and all-time lap record set by Zarco back in 2018? Around the incredibly fast turn 1. Is there a faster turn 1 on our calendar? Certainly not in this reformed 2020 season. Sector 2 around La Chapelle, which can cause problems, of course. Sector 3 features Garage Vert and the short back straight, before then heading into the final sector, twists and turns, and then into Raccordement, turns 13 and 14. Good morning and welcome to France for the Shark Helmets Grand Prix of France here in Le Mans. The start of our next triple header, of course, off to Aragon for 2 races on the trot shortly after this, where we may well see the return of the world champion Marc Marquez. But in 2020 there will be a new champion crowned. As you can see, the leaves are changing colour. We're well into autumn and winter approaches, but there's still a lot of action to come. 6 races left in this 2020 season. Our Frenchman leading the way, Fabio Quartararo, comes into this weekend 8 points clear of the informed Joan Mir, with Maverick Vinales in 3rd, and Dovi, who led the championship going into Catalonia a few weeks ago, now down to 4th overall. Steve Day, Matt Burt and Simon Crafar to talk you through a crucial FP3 session. As you can see just from these live shots, it's a much brighter day here today than it was yesterday. Blue skies around Le Mans, but do not be deceived, it is bitterly cold still. Really cool temperatures, but the good news, Matt, the damp patches and the rain have steered clear for what looks like a really interesting and exciting Saturday ahead.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, mate. Looks can be deceiving. Don't be fooled by those clear blue skies. It is still very, very chilly. We're all laid up here in the commentary box. Jack Miller, though, in the mixed conditions yesterday in FP2. He led the way on a weather-disrupted opening day here in Le Mans with a 1:34.356, just ahead of Maverick Vinales. Taka Nakagami was on course for the fastest lap of that FP2, and he crashed late on at turn 11. Petrucci, Crutchlow, Alex Marquez impressing the rookie, Morbidelli, Polispargo, Joan Mir and Johan Zarco were your top 10. Valentino Rossi actually was inside that top 10 yesterday. 5th, he took the checkered flag in FP2, but he was penalised late on for exiting the track limits. Further down, Pekka Bagnaia, Ika Lekawona, Stefan Bradl, who sat out that damp FP1 yesterday morning. Bradley Smith, well, what a mixed day it was for him. Top in those wet conditions yesterday morning, and then a bruising, vicious high side in the S-Blur section in FP2 yesterday when he was running strongly again inside that top 6.
Camera on one of our local marshals here in France, just messaging home while he's got the chance. It could be a busy session ahead for the track marshals here as we get prepared for this FP3 session. And Matt, a lot of riders yesterday who mentioned the tricky circumstances we had said they've got a lot to do here today, particularly because none of these guys have had any dry track action as yet. The times from yesterday look like they're going to be immaterial, let's be quite honest about it. So if your favourites are a bit further down, I wouldn't worry about it at this moment in time. Joan Mir in particular said it's going to be a busy day, because of course in this session not only do you need that one fast lap to try and book a place in Q2, but none of these guys at the moment have any idea what their race pace is like, what tyres to go for either. So there's an awful lot to try and pack into this Saturday.
Yeah, it looked dry yesterday for the most part of FP2, but the circuit was still littered with quite a number of damp patches. There's a picturesque sight as the early morning mist clears here in the forest surrounding this famous, iconic, legendary Bugatti circuit. It was senseless yesterday afternoon really playing and tweaking too much with the setup, because the lap times, even though they were quite respectable given the conditions, they were still 2 to 3 seconds away from the normal lap times you get around this 4.1 kilometre Le Mans circuit. So there wasn't a lot of riders that were really tampering a lot with setups yesterday. In fact, a lot of riders started, or when they went out on slicks in FP2, they kept the same set of tyres on. There was no work in terms of tyre choice, no work in terms of setup. It was really just about dialing yourself in and getting to grips with some of those slick tyres here yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, here is the tyre information for you then. There'll be quite a few people out on the soft Michelin tyres here in this session. As you just saw there, that live graphic, currently the track temperature 10, 11 degrees. Now, Matt, that is far from optimum.
No, that's borderline. Whether, you know, the Michelin tyres are going to get up to optimum working temperature. I mean, they say they like it to be around 12 degrees. I'm sure as the thermometer creeps up during this session, we're going to be okay, but you're definitely going to want to be careful this morning. Of course, it's a double-edged sword. It's a fine balancing act, because you've got to push hard to make the lap time and get heat in the tyres, but that puts you in that danger zone, because pushing hard in these kind of cool conditions, it's so easy to get caught out and make a mistake, particularly with the left-hand side of the tyre. We know on the front, going up into turn 3, that is absolutely crucial.
One man, of course, who'll be hoping he has a positive day, of course, a local rider, Johann Zarco, on the Sponsorama Racing Ducati. Can he try and get himself up into Q2 here today? In terms of what happens next door, Tito Rabat, Luca Marini, a lot of gossip going around here last night about that particular seat. Let's just try and catch up with the latest. Ruben Chaus is down in pit lane with Simon. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning. A chilly morning, actually, especially in the shade in pit lane. I've got 2 jackets on. Ruben, first of all, your rider, Johann Zarco, home race, you know. Does it make any difference? Can you feel the pressure on him here?
No, I can feel that he's really motivated, and he's not. I think that pressure is on a positive way. Yesterday we just got a bit situation, because last minute that he just was looking for a good lap. He saw a yellow flag and been there a crash, and then he was doing nothing. He just saw everything. He kept the rhythm, and then obviously because the rhythm was high, he got a penalty on lap cancel, but we were 2/10 of a second from the best lap, so that means that he's proper and he's really competitive in even wet or dry conditions. That means we're ready for the rock and roll, and today is a good weather though. It's really positive.
Speaking about the weather, you're right, it's so good that it's not raining blue.
Nothing controls at all, and here we have controls everywhere, and the bike's really supported by the electronics, so that means it is true that they need to take care on the corner number 5, I think. The 5 or no, the 7, not 7.
The left-handers anyway, right?
Yeah, anyway. And because there it's a really cold situation, and when they just come in, they really need to make the tire work. And then when you press too much and too early, sometimes it happens what it happens yesterday to Dovizioso. No? Anyway, we need to manage the situation, and in the first laps just take care, and second part of the practice for the last situation attack for.
Ruben, I've got to ask, there was a few rumours overnight, I'm sure you heard them as well. Can you comment, is there any truth to the possibility of Sky VR46 doing a deal with you for the team?
It's 3 months that the rumours are there in our table. When I came here to help Raul 2 years ago, I've seen many things I didn't like, and I told him, if you want my help, I need to really be strong and hard inside the box and garage to create a better image and situation. And we changed many situations, many things. The team raised up into a point, and when we've seen that it was difficult to renew those places, we don't have a real big budget, it was time to move apart and give the keys to somebody else. Raul himself, he's seen that, he's 50, and he's got 2 kids in Andorra and having a good life there, doing many things, and he offered the situation to the organizer and to few investors, and it seems that the approach of somebody else into the team is there, and the possibility is on the table, and now we're just checking who and how, and it's clear there's a lot of pressure from many sides, and we want to have the best one. We will have the best situation. So lately, I think Aragon 2, we're going to have things very clear for the
I'll come back, guys, it's too noisy down here now.
Yeah, thanks very much to Ruben Chaus. Thanks to Simon Crafar there as well. It's sounding like, and very much pointing towards Luca Marini making a step up into MotoGP at the moment. Some of the local gossip in the paddock anyway, suggesting maybe Tito Rabat could be on his way over to the World Superbike paddock, but nothing confirmed. And as Ruben Chaus just said himself there, maybe we'll find out a bit more in Aragon too. That isn't too far away for you to wait at home. The heart rate monitor is on the home hero, Fabio Quartararo,